Is alt season coming in 2026? Everyone's waiting for it, but what if it never comes? Now, before you say FUD and click away, I'm not here to FUD, but in 2025, we were all sold the lie that alt season was coming. In 2026, we learn from our mistakes. We don't just automatically believe it's coming because everyone is saying it is. We take an objective look at the situation and ask, is alt season coming in 2026? So we don't end up as exit liquidity. Now, let's get started. This video is for informational purposes only. Crypto assets are high risk and are not suitable for all retail investors. This video is not intended for a UK audience. Alt season was a trap. If you remember 2021, the playbook was simple. Bitcoin pumped. Dominance dropped to 40%, money flowed into Ethereum, then large caps, then shitcoins. It was the trickle-down effect. But look at the chart now. Bitcoin pumps, dominance goes up. Bitcoin dumps, alts get destroyed. Why is the money not moving? Let me paint you a picture. This was me in 2021. I bought a bunch of Bitcoin on Binance, it went up, I sold it, and I had a bunch of stable coins. Now I'm on Binance, so I can buy almost any alt that I want. What does a girl do when she has a lot of stable and the ability to buy any alt she wants?
Get in, loser, we're going shopping.
I mean, boys too, we all did it. It was so easy. But in 2025, who is buying Bitcoin? Institutions. And how are they buying it? Through ETFs. BlackRock's ETF is approaching $100 billion in assets under management. That is $100 billion of buying pressure. But here's the problem. That money is legally trapped. Larry Fink can't just wake up one morning, look at his portfolio and say, you know what, Bitcoin is pumped enough, let's rotate $1 billion into Pepe. He can't do it. They manage a Bitcoin ETF, meaning the mandate is Bitcoin, only Bitcoin. Same goes for Michael Saylor. He holds over $50 billion in Bitcoin now, and call me crazy, but I don't see him rotating into Solana anytime in the next ever. So, the liquidity that used to trickle down into alts is now trapped. So retail is sitting there waiting for a rotation that physically cannot happen. Well, not yet anyway. Which brings us to the next issue. The supply heist. Markets work on supply and demand. If demand is high and supply is low, the price rises until it becomes so high that demand runs out. And if supply is high and demand is low, price drops until it's cheap enough that demand increases. So right now there is very little demand for alts, but that's fine because supply is low. Right? Right? No, not even close. This is the part that nobody wants to talk about because it ruins the dream. I said this is not FUD, but it's starting to sound very fuddy. But keep listening though, because there is a silver lining. I just can't lie to you guys about the reality. The supply of alts is just too much. This month alone, we've had $3.1 billion in token unlocks. Sounds like a lot? Well, next month, we're set to have another $5.2 billion. These are massive numbers, but let's look at specific examples because this is where the heist happens. Let's look at Sui. When Sui launched mainnet, roughly 5% of tokens were in circulation. Today, around 37%. The supply has 7x'd. Or look at Aptos, launched with 13% circulating. Now, why does this matter? Because in 2021, you were competing with other retail buyers. In 2026, you're competing with a VC who bought the token for a fraction of a penny and has been waiting 3 years to dump on you. They call it vesting. I call it using retail as exit liquidity. And here's the brutal math. If a token supply doubles, the amount of money needed to keep the price the same also doubles. So you have trapped demand in Bitcoin ETFs and an exploding supply in altcoins. Economics 101. High supply, low demand. What happens to price? It bleeds. Okay, so trap liquidity, exploding supply. Sounds like alts are cooked. But here's the thing, alt season isn't dead. It is evolved. And this chart explains it perfectly. But this chart is complicated, so